Welcome back to a brand new No BS crypto news video where I bring you crypto news every day in the most no BS kind of way. Now, you've seen the thumbnail. I've got some of these altcoins that we all know and love in today's news because we've got some experts that have said they are set to explode in 2024. We've got even more new and I guess you could say better crypto predictions for the overall market from a very big asset manager and a few things regarding Logan Paul and of course the SEC and these Bitcoin filings. So with that out the way, let's begin. It's a juicy one today, guys. Hopefully you do enjoy it. Now, the overall crypto market is down, but I want to say Bitcoin is right on the 44,000 mark. So don't let the sea of red deceive you. Yes, altcoins are down, but Bitcoin is holding very strong and very steady. Matter of fact, if we actually come and have a closer look at some of these altcoins here, it looks kind of gross. Basically, nothing is up, right? Just a few of these alternative altcoins that even make sense, altcoins. But some of the ones that I talk about more often are some of the biggest losers here today. Most notably, by the way, I want to point one out that I'm eyeing off again myself. Now, I got all my Mina. I don't want to buy any more Mina. At least I didn't think I did, because I got in at 36 cents and I got in a good chunk of tokens. However, we are very close to being under 1 cent right now. And if we fall most definitely beneath 90 cents again, depending on the market conditions, I am going to be buying a lot more of Mina tokens. I wish I bought more and I will not make that mistake again. I will definitely buy more. So out of all these altcoins, if you're asking, Kyron, what are you looking to buy? All of these, in my opinion, are way too high for me. However, Mina is the one project I am most definitely eyeing off for an FYI. Now, the first news today, let's start off strong. Alliance Bernstein predicts Bitcoin to go to $80,000 in 2024. Very bold, big prediction, but of course, this is underpinned by a lot of other large asset managers. By the way, these guys have about $700 billion in assets under management. So they are the biggest asset manager on the list of the ones I want to mention to you now. Van Eck, these guys have $100 billion in assets under management. Yes, it pales in comparison to almost $700 billion, but $100 billion should most definitely not be scoffed at, okay? So in this case, these guys also predict Bitcoin to reach an all-time high in November this year. Okay, new all-time high, so that's at least 69,000. And they do say it could potentially, they don't actually say it, but they do throw the number of $100,000 for Bitcoin in December of this year. Again, these guys are saying 80,000 this year as well. We've also seen, more specifically, Bitwise, another asset manager over here, and actually one of the issuers as well of the Bitcoin ETF here, saying $80,000 for a new all-time high this year as well. And we did have Bitfinex, a crypto exchange, saying the global market is likely to go up to 3.2 trillion, given these ETFs are successful, ultimately speaking. So that would pretty much put Bitcoin at a minimum new all-time high this year as well. So a lot of these big players are saying we're going to reach new all-time highs this year for Bitcoin, which is good to see, good to know. Again, 2024, we're going to have a momentous year, and I think 2025 is going to be quite literally the icing on the cake. It's going to be massive growth. Number two, in today's news, we have Solana has hit transaction volume highs, basically all built on meme coin activity. Now, this article goes on and on about the reasons why. They do basically say that there was 3 notable meme coins on Solana that was basically underpinning most of the growth here, but one lucky trader made $2 million after buying a meme coin. And to add even more insult to injury, this lucky lady or gentleman actually only put in 1.5 SOL and made $2 million in 22 days. That is pretty good ROI if you ask me. It begs the question, should we just all put in like 1 Solana or like, maybe $50 into each of these meme coins that show a little bit of premise? I have considered this myself, and I actually think you would work out net positive. And again, if this was you, most definitely net positive. If it costs a couple $1,000s and you can afford to do it, it might be worth it. They also said transactions have increased from around 20 to 30 million every day to over 50 million at present. I don't know how accurate Solana transaction counts are. They've had a lot of controversy in the past, whether they count communication rounds between nodes. I'm not still sure on that, but either way, pretty impressive, right? Daily active wallets have also increased from 120,000 in October, right, 3 months ago, mind you, to 470,000 so far in 2024. Big growth for Solana. And the next question is, hey, this article popped up. Can Solana go to 50x by 2024? Now, of course, nice, big, beautiful headline. I get it. I'm in the industry as well of how do I get the viewer's attention, right? Makes sense, but just be very careful of these. It's always good. You make sure you read the article, watch the YouTube video. Don't let the title indicate a narrative. But in this case, they say 50x from $8. That makes more sense now. And yes, I think most definitely so. A 50x from its low of $8 in January last year would put the Solana token at $468, which is actually only a 5x from today's prices, right? The thing is, again, you want to factor in how much money we're talking about here. And if we go like the worst case, if Solana had to, for example, hit this milestone at the very end of 2025, it's likely to hit this within the next 12 to 15 months, so probably not as bad. But worst case, about $293 billion market cap to achieve that goal. Now, I believe that's more than Ethereum right now. That's probably a lot more than Ethereum right now, actually. Yeah, slightly more. So that's a big jump. I think Solana could do it. I think it could do it. But again, we're talking about a big jump here. It won't be easy. So keep it in mind. Again, it will be less if there's less tokens in circulation, which would only occur if it happened before December 2025. News number 3. Well, that's like 6. But news number 3 today comes from a narrative that might be very big, and this kind of stems from the thumbnail and title of this video. DePIN, or Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Projects, and AI projects are positioned to be powerhouses, or at least a power duo, in 2024, at least predicted by a couple DeFi executives. Now, we'll touch on those DeFi executives in a second. However, let's get some more context here. The DePIN, again, Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Projects, this is projects that are like Render, for example, right? Where they can offer the real world something tangible, okay? This is also things, as we'll see in a second, a project here called Peak Network that basically allows Tesla owners and drivers to create fleets and use them almost as taxis. Let's talk a little bit more though. The DePIN market has a current valuation of nearly 2.2 trillion, right, overall, with a trajectory that could reach up to 3.5 trillion over the next 4 years. Not obviously crypto speaking here, we're talking globally. The technology has facilitated developments such as, again, the Peak Network blockchain, tokenizing a fleet of Teslas through the use of DePIN technology, or even Bosch's recent efforts with the European Union to build a decentralized IoT. Yes, that's Bosch we all know and love, like a Bosch, right? You guys have probably seen the commercials probably everywhere, but when I saw that, right, when I saw Bosch, I instantly thought of one project and one project only, Fetch AI. Fetch AI have created their foundation, right, with Bosch. Bosch and Fetch have equally created the Fetch Foundation, basically. And so this was something very interesting because, as we'll see in a second here, I touched on them in a recent video saying that they will be one of the best altcoins, I believe, in 2024. You'll see why in a second here. Some have even speculated that DePIN technology will be one of this decade's most important crypto investments. However, as we can see here, Leonard, the CEO of Peak Network, told Cointelegraph that he sees the DePIN sector as set to blossom in 2024, which is inherently linked with AI. Decentralized physical infrastructure projects are just as, I guess, important right now because of AI, because AI systems basically enable a lot of these decentralized physical infrastructure projects to, I guess, be a lot more efficient and scale a lot faster than what they could have before. AI is allowing many different side industries to blossom, and I mentioned Fetch AI. Well, Fetch AI is a combination of both of those as well, and of course they are working with Bosch, who is again working with the EU on enabling some sort of like IoT-based network or blockchain. Again, Fetch is very important in this case, which is why I touched them in my top 10 best altcoins of 2024 video, because they are this kind of mix of AI being a very powerful narrative in 2024 and beyond. We've seen AI has only been really out since 12 months. Generative AI, like really GPT-3, GPT-4, right, has only been out for 12 months, guys. So you can imagine in 12 to 24 more months when the bull run really kicks off, that paired with, again, the use cases of Fetch with the likes of IoT and embedding with actual businesses, it's going to be massive. Another project that also fits into the AI as well as decentralized physical infrastructure, maybe even better than Fetch, is Flux Network. These guys do a lot, which is again why I mentioned them in this video. Now, I don't make videos on top projects just because I feel like it. Research goes into these, so this is why it's important. If you aren't subscribed, you want to be subscribed because, again, this article, I guess, validates my thesis behind picking those projects. It makes total sense, right? AI, very powerful narrative, spawning things like decentralized physical infrastructure to be even more powerful a lot sooner. So the chief marketing officer of DAOmaker said DePIN and AI are poised to be the power duo of 2024 because they complement each other in the most efficient way possible. Again, AI just allows basically decentralized physical infrastructure to be a lot more efficient, a lot faster, and scale faster as well. So these narratives are, of course, ones to look out for. I will cover them a lot in my private community, tell you guys if they are pumping and when. Now, this is, of course, top AI and big data tokens, but this does sort of fall into the, I guess, physical infrastructure, again, moving lots of information very quickly. We can see ICP, Injective in here, Render, Oasis, Fetch, Singularity Net even as well, and Flux down here. But again, more specifically, top distributed computing tokens. This also does go in part with DePIN, right? This is effectively DePIN. And we can see, of course, Render being in here, and Flux is down here, of course, as well. Decentralized physical infrastructure. Very, very powerful narrative. So if you aren't already, guys, and you haven't, watch this video. You will most definitely have some pretty damn good picks in this list to help you out quite significantly. Next up, we have Logan Paul and the whole CryptoZoo NFT saga. I'm not going to touch too much on this. Pretty self-explanatory. So what's happening in this case is Logan Paul is looking to reimburse everyone who bought those CryptoZoo NFTs, which is fantastic, on the one condition that everyone stops suing him, basically. Now, they're, of course, suing him for a lot more than the 2.3 million he should have paid back, like, what, a year ago? So, yeah, he's telling everyone, stop those, and I'll reimburse everyone. However, they also have a CryptoZoo token, an Ethereum token, like a fungible token, right? That he also had and people purchased to anticipate using for the game. But of course, the game never happened. And so he's saying, I'm not going to reimburse people who bought the ERC20 token because you're effectively participating in crypto gambling, right? It's the whole crypto market. So that's unfortunate. It kind of makes a little bit of sense in a way, but they did buy it to anticipate the launch of the game. So I think there should be some, at least part reimbursement there as well. But ideally, let's hope that he does pay these people back. Either way, I don't like the contingency. I think the dude should get sued for the shit that he's done. So that's what I'm going to pretty much say there. Hopefully, if you are someone involved in this, you get your money back. Now, last, let's touch on the Bitcoin ETFs and the updated information on the matter. We are, guys, approximately, as of recording this video, 4 days away, likely even sooner, to get a confirmation on these being approved. So, spot Bitcoin ETF exchanges and issuers instructed to submit final filings. Let's go. I can finally stop talking about this damn thing. I just want to see how the market reacts, right? So, the SEC will vote soon on exchange rulings and sign off on the S1 forms. Now, the last amendment is this one right here, 19B4, which basically just means it allows these issuers to trade on the NASDAQ and all those sort of stock exchanges officially as an ETF. And so once these are all approved, and the last S1 filings, which is basically a filing that keeps them approved and up to date with the SEC's rules and regulations. Of course, if the SEC changes something, the S1 filings have to be updated as well. So this is all likely to be concluded and finalized with these last 11. So these 11 are likely to be the ones that will be launching in the first round here. And then, of course, we do have some time between now and about the 10th of March for the other 3 or so issuers to have theirs approved as well. But most of the big ones, like all the big ones basically, are likely to be approved here on the 10th, which is fantastic news for us. Now, we did have this here from Eleanor, and this is circling around this little extract here from Better Markets. Better Markets, I never knew them before today. They're apparently an independent, non-partisan, non-profit, I guess, for the benefit of the American economy. I'm not even too sure what these guys would do, but either way, they put out a report saying that, hey, we don't actually want this to happen. We want you, the SEC in this case, to redact any of these issuers from having their ETF approved. So in this case, negative stuff. I know it says the 5th of January 2023. If you actually open the article itself, it is a typo. It is for 2024. And I think it's probably, like Eleanor says, a little bit too late, like the 11th hour sort of thing, right? They're probably having all the, and there's not just the only ones here, by the way. There are more people and more institutions out there filing these to the SEC last minute. So it could be a reason they deny them, at least for the first round here, but I don't think so. I think it's too far gone. They also have BlackRock breathing down their necks as well, and they don't want to upset BlackRock. Let me tell you that much. I actually don't think without BlackRock we would be where we are right now. So here's something I want to bring up here from James Seffert, the guy who's basically keeping us in the loop with all this sort of stuff, and has at least been the source of all my Bitcoin ETF information. He did say a go-ahead in the coming days could bring 10 billion in inflows to Bitcoin ETFs in the first year. He says, I don't think we'll get over 100 billion in the first year or two. Put that into perspective, gold ETFs have about 100 billion in the US in total. So that makes a lot of sense. I've put a video up a few hours ago from the launch of this video that goes into this a lot more. So you're going to want to watch that video. I've recently posted again like a few hours ago that goes into this and a plan for this in a lot more detail, okay? He ultimately said the final decision by the SEC is due by the 10th of January, and he anticipates a collective approval for all the participants. Now, with that out the way, last thing I want to say quickly here is VanEck, which is one of those issuers, pledges 5% of potential spot ETF profits to Bitcoin core developers at Brink. They also already donated $10,000 to them as well, just to say thank you and, of course, keep them operational. Without the Bitcoin core developers, they couldn't have a Bitcoin ETF. So that's kind of nice, sweet. So yeah, big ups for VanEck as well. I think these guys have a lot of interest in the crypto market in general. So we want to have a pretty big player on our side. With that all said, everyone, thank you so much for watching today's news update. Hopefully you have enjoyed. And if you've made it this far, hit the like button. It helps me out quite a lot, and subscribe for more daily crypto news. With that said, enjoy your day. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.